Look at the man who we have in the right top side of this map.
He says sorry.
Oh.
And pauses the game.
Well, that man is, of course, Dignitas Select.
Yes.
Someone who's very impressive in the gym.
Yeah, no stranger to the gym.
No.
We went and worked out the other day. It was like we had this. Select was here last week for the Sunday Showdown, and we're hanging out with him and stuff. You know, we go and eat and maybe have a couple drinks, just sort of chilling with Select. But I mean, he's like a fit guy. He's nice and in shape, and you know, he's always like working out and stuff, talking about working out and things like that. And so we've spent like the whole day doing NASL stuff, broadcasting, taking pictures, whatever. And so I take him back to the hotel. It's like 1 a.m. He's like, "Hey man, let's go to the gym." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I kind of want to go work out." I'm like, "Select, it's 1 in the morning." He's like, "Ah, come on, let's go." And I was like, "Ah, okay." So I go to the gym with Select, and I wasn't really feeling it. And I go and I pump my iron, and I do my workout. And actually, when my workout's done, I feel really good about myself. I was like, "Ah, I worked so hard. I feel like all buff and stuff." So I walk over to Select. I'm like, "Hey man, I just got through my workout. I'm ready to go whenever you are." And he's like, "Okay, I just have about 6 more sets." And so we were there for 2 more hours, and I just sort of sat on a bike and pedaled for the until 3 in the morning.
That's dedication, Ben. Well, of course, Dignitas Select is our red Terran spawning on the right top side of this map, and Slay is Alicia, is our teal Protoss on the left top side of the other remote. Ben, I'm keen on doing some casting today. I'm excited. Having more on either around is really good for your motivation in general.
Yeah.
To pretty dedicated players, contrary to popular belief, but they do actually work really hard, and it's always fun to talk about StarCraft with guys like that. So I'm really eager to see what this best of 3 brings us.
It's a lot of fun having them around.
Yes.
It's nice having some Zerg brothers around. Usually I'm surrounded by Protoss players, and I can never whine because they're always like, "Oh, you be quiet, Zerg's so OP." But with Idra and Morrow here, I can whine all I want. And they're like, "It's okay, man. We understand."
It's okay, man. I hope Stefano shows up one day. And then you think you found a Zerg brother who would just agree with everything that every Protoss ever said. It's like, yeah, it's true. It's very easy. So if we take a look at Select his main base right now, we see that he's going for the no gas fast expand. Definitely not a strange build in this matchup. It's just super safe, certainly in Tal'Darim. Even though on a map like this, it's a little bit more vulnerable for blink stalkers. Often Protoss players will just blink over here and try to go behind the mineral line, pick off as many SCVs as possible. Well, obviously you're going to build your bunkers here as Terran. But if you scout it way in time, then you should be able to deal with that properly. And knowing Select, he should definitely be top-notch in scouting.
Yeah, absolutely. Select really, maybe even we can call him underrated. He's a very good North American Terran player, and he's had some unfortunate results at tournaments recently, but I don't think that's all his fault, as he's often having to battle things like terrible travel schedules or unfortunate housing arrangements, things like that. It just always seems like he gets he runs into some unfortunate luck when he gets to one of these events. So his results haven't been the best lately, but he is still probably top 3 North American player, would you say?
Yeah.
I have a hard time naming more than 2 guys that might be better than Select.
Definitely if he's on his A game. Select, who's always been pretty decent against Protoss. So far in the NASL, we've seen him against Cruncher, and he really picked Cruncher apart mid to mid-late game when he started dropping all over the place. Despite Cruncher's very cool opening when Cruncher went for DT drops, even though I don't think Alicia is going to do something similar to that. But that was awesome. That was really fun. Alicia is going to poke in with his first Stalker. The bunker is not ready yet, so the Stalker was able to get 2 shots off on one of these Marines, but that's no biggie. But look at Select dropping those refineries pretty quick. Well, he has 2 additional racks, so it's not that quick, but still. Often you even see Terran players going up to 4 racks before they really start dropping those refineries, but this is kind of standard as well. But I don't think that's Alicia is going to do the same thing as Cruncher. I think that the things that Select really has to worry about is just the big gateway push in general. Maybe 3, 4, 5 gate. Just 4 gate pressure could be like in an economic way, or a more dedicated 5 or 6 gate, which can be really good on Tal'Darim Altar because you have a lot of space. So if you drop some decent force fields behind those bunkers, it can be pretty tricky for Terran.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We haven't seen... yeah, there's that second gas going down for Alicia, so we don't really know what he's up to just yet. Select has added his first tech lab. I'm waiting to see that factory go up. I think it's probably going to happen pretty soon. Obviously, he wants to get those medevacs out because that really is the keystone unit in that early mid-game for Terran. Once the medevacs come out, you're pretty safe against the gateway stuff.
I mean, taking a look at this map in general, it's a pretty good map for Protoss, certainly when it goes to late game, because it's so big. Having that warp-in ability when you go into the late game stages of TVP or PVT is just absolutely awesome. I love playing on this map late game against Terran. There are so many cool things you can do, certainly when you have warp prisms with speed. It's almost ridiculous for Terran to deal with. So I kind of wonder how Select is going into this game, and if Select wants to hit some sort of a timing and to really punish perhaps Alicia for playing greedy.
Ah, both players out on the map right now, Kev.
The sentries are kind of exposed. I mean, he should have more than enough units, but just pick off the sentry Select. That's exactly what he's going to do, and this is pretty damn good for Select.
Yeah, those were interesting force fields. Alicia didn't want Select to be retreating there. Select's going to kill 2 sentries and run away with what's left. I kind of feel like he could have done a bit better in that fight.
I agree, because it took quite a while before picking up that second sentry. If he would have just gone all out for the sentries, I can understand he was a little bit afraid because he didn't have a lot of units left in his main. Here we see that first little gateway pressure. Good thing for Select, the first warp-in pylon is quite far away, so I don't think that Alicia can put that much pressure on him.
Yeah, but he is warping in on this side of the map, so he may make one small poke. He's got 3 gates. He's getting double forge behind this, so there's really... it's unlikely that he commits to going completely all in. Here we go. Zealots are going to charge forward and pick off a couple of these SCVs. One force field going down to try and deny repair. There's a couple more. Yeah.
Wow, really good repairs by Select. Actually, the bunker is still alive. Of course, he's going to end up losing a couple of SCVs, but so far this was pretty good for Select because he's buying time. Stim is almost ready. The moment Stim is ready, there's nothing for him to worry about anymore. How many SCVs did Select lose there? 5. I would say that's acceptable. I mean, it's not bad for either side.
Yeah, it's kind of just a wash, I guess. I suppose Alicia was producing probes the whole time, so he does have about a 12 worker lead. That puts him a little bit ahead. But Select's going to be feeling okay moving into the mid game. That starport's done. Medevacs are coming now.
The good thing is, I mean, as you said, Ben, maybe Alicia right now economically he's quite good. 46 against 34. That's at least what you want to have against as Protoss against Terra now. Or you can even say that this is pretty good because this is quite the lead. This is not 4 or 5 probes. This is 12 probes. So yeah, that's pretty damn good. But Select his tech is way better. The first 2 Medevacs are on the way already. Well, if we take a look at the main base of Alicia, he did have that double forge. The upgrades are about halfway through, but all he's getting besides his additional gates and now that Twilight console. So basically Select is going to have a window where he's able to fight against pure gateway units, no blink, no charge, and that's awesome for Terra.
Yep, and he's pushing out to do just that. Knowing Select, I suspect he's probably going to start dropping. He's going to push Alicia back and then, well, he might just drop right here into the natural using those medevacs for some high ground vision. He's at least going to work on this assimilator.
Ooh, I'm surprised that Alicia actually wants to fight like this. There's really no way that he's ever going to be able to kill anything. Losing Zealots, losing sentries, that's not good for Alicia. And Ben, you know what we forgot once more because we were chit-chatting too much.
You're right. We forgot to pick our choices to take this series. And Kev, I know that you chose... You want to say it?
Yeah, I want to say it. Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it. You can say it.
You want me to say it?
Yes, don't make me say it.
Well, Kev picked Select to take this series, and I decided to go for the Korean Protoss. I chose Alicia, and right now, it could go either way, honestly.
Yeah, still, but I like that the last trade by Select a lot. Select loading up these 2 medevacs right now. All of the units from Alicia are in the main base. He doesn't have a robotics facility, so it's a lot harder to defend against drops. And I think he might actually end up losing quite a few probes over here, maybe even a forge.
It would really be a bummer if one of these forges were picked off. Here we go.
Or the Twilight Council, that would be super huge.
Medevacs are unloading. The Twilight Council is what's going to get focused here, and that blink upgrade is not finished yet, and it's not going to finish, Kev. Twilight Council goes down.
Forge taking so much damage as well.
Go too. Holy smokes, man. Bio's pretty good. Is he going to get both forges? No way, and now he's going to load up and get out of there with nothing.
That was a wrong pickup there by Select. Select does end up losing all these bio units, but the tech of Alicia is so incredibly delayed right now. He lost that 2-2 upgrade, he lost both forges, he lost his Twilight console even before Blink or Charge was ready. And now we're going to have a very unique scenario, Ben. How often do you see a Protoss with Storm, but without Charge and Blink?
Yeah, Select is rebuilding his 1 forge right now, but he can't do any upgrades without a Twilight Council. There's a Twilight Council.
Why don't you talk about my scenario, Ben? I like my scenario.
Oh, it's an incredibly uncommon scenario, Kev.
Just completely ignored it, man.
Well, you asked how often, and I didn't really have an answer, so I just kind of ran away from the question. I was like, let's talk about something else because I don't know, man.
Something I have seen before. Okay, what is this time he's going to research Charge, and I think that's pretty smart. He dealt with the first drop, even though he lost a lot, and now he just knows, okay, now I don't have to worry about drops anymore because Blink is really good in intercepting drops. But if you actually have to fight a big straight-up army, you much rather have Charge. So I think this is very cool by Alicia. I think this is excellent decision-making, as they call it.
Man, this is so annoying. Select just constantly denying this one assimilator, forcing Alicia to work on 3 gas instead of 4. And now he's just going to poke right around. Might try to drop again. This time Alicia knows what's coming, though, because he's controlling the Zelnaga towers, and he was able to see that army moving.
But I mean, SeleCT is down 22 supply. That's because he lost a lot of bio units with that first drop. But he's on triple orbital right now. Worker-wise, it's 56 against 56. How incredibly good is that for SeleCT? SeleCT knows, as long as I am active on the left side of the map right now, as long as I force Alicia to defend, within 2 minutes, I'm going to be the player with that battle army. And he should be able to get a ton of ghosts out. We see the first ghosts are already starting to roll out. And he should actually be able to deal with this army from Alicia.
Yeah, Alicia's got maybe a small window that he could hit if he goes right now.
Because charge is almost ready, but does he want to wait for +2 armor? If he does that, then I think SeleCT's army is going to be too big. But if he, I think he has to hit before +2.
Oh yeah, if he's gonna go, he's gonna have to do it right now. Storm's done, charge is done.
How many storms? Ooh, we have 4 storms.
SeleCT sees that this is coming, and here we go. SeleCT backs up, raises the wall.
SeleCT needs that EMP.
I hear some snipes going down.
Wow,
Did he sniped
all. No, he sniped 1 High Templar, sorry.
3 High Templar are left. Alicia going to micro a little bit more carefully this time.
I would have rather see him land an EMP, man.
Yeah, that would have been pretty huge as well. And now Alicia's going to go north. He's not going to go for the main army. He's going to try and deny this expansion. Templar march forward. That's a strange couple of storms. Not really hitting much of anything with those 3 storms. Uh-oh, now the bio's going to stem and run forward. And without storm, this is going to be a harder fight for Alicia to win.
Yes, indeed. SeleCT did lose quite a few SUVs over there once more. This is an impossible fight for Alicia to win. Don't fight in that choke. That storm does a lot of damage. It didn't really hit the bio units, but all those medevacs run incredibly low on HP. Here we have all those remaining SUVs. Man, they're kind of prisoners of war. They just want to go home, but they can't. They get captured.
Like you said, Kev, if SeleCT's able to make it for 5, 6, 7 minutes, he is going to catch up in that army supply, and he has. It's 150 supply on either side. He's retaken that 3rd base. Alicia was able to finish his own 3rd base in the midst of that aggression.
And Ben, you remember what we've been talking about with PvT in general, and when we casted White Drive versus General, that I start to feel that TVP is sort of playing like against Zerg right now, that in certain phases of the game, you just need a wall to defend against Zerglings. And now in this matchup, I feel that you need a wall to defend against that big swarm of charge lots.
Yeah.
Imagine how hard that would have been for SeleCT if he didn't have this wall over here.
You're right. He would have gotten surrounded and he would have gotten crushed, and the game would have ended. But he had his units in the right position. He had the wall there, and he was able to turn Alicia around. SeleCT now going to get that personal cloaking for his ghosts. And, well, Alicia's switching over into Colossus, and we've talked about this tech switch a lot. It's a really good one. Yeah. But
I don't think it's a good one when you're that far behind economically.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. Yeah. Like, Alicia's not in a brilliant position. Like, worker-wise, he's 5 workers up. That doesn't put him ahead by any stretch. And I mean, supply-wise, he's got a small lead.
Small hitman squad over here on the right top side. Couple of zealots trying to arrest this SUV line, but that is not going to happen. If SeleCT hits before this, like a big amount of Colossus, he's fine. If the Colossus count goes up to 3, he really needs Vikings. But he's in a situation that he can afford to make Vikings. And I really love how we pointed it out, Ben, with that PvT, with just defending against that big first real big push against charge lots. Because if SeleCT, as I said before, wouldn't have had that wall, he would have been dead. There was so many, but now you can see how incredibly important positioning in PvT is as well when dealing with charge lots.
SeleCT does drop that big scan on top of the army of Alicia, and is he going to go for it? He actually is. Dropping some snipes, kills a High Templar.
How many High Templars do we have left? We have 5 left. Where are they?
They're spread out all over the place. There's 2 in the 3rd base. There are none that I can see in the main. The rest with the army.
This one poor ghost is kind of exposed. I love these 2 zealots right now from Alicia. They could be able to do a lot of damage, but will Alicia be able to keep this base alive? That's a big question right now. Nice first storm, or at least pretty decent. 2 Colossus are pretty much out. Thermal lens is almost ready, Ben.
Oh, and there's a lot of zealots in this army, Kev. Colossi doing a great job. Where are the High Templar? There's another good storm. And SeleCT forced to turn around and really head for the hills. He loads up his units into medevacs and is going to completely retreat. And Alicia, he holds pretty well right there. Even going to get some medevacs for free because of a bad rally.
Yeah, that one's really good for Alicia. And there you can just see that it's really hard for Terran to actually fight this army straight up when you do not have Vikings. And SeleCT tried to hit a window. He thought maybe there's only 1 Colossus, but there were 2 Colossus, and Thermal Lens was just about to finish up as well. And yeah, with 1 or 2 storms, he was more than fine.
Yep, and now the upgrade is going to start to be a factor. Zealots once more making their way into the 3rd base of SeleCT. He's got units there, and he does clean them up, but not before. Wow, really? These Zealots?
Them Zealots, as many.
Are you kidding me right now? Are they going to kill everything?
Yes.
What? He sliced that Marauder in half, Kev. sliced him in half at the hip.
That was a little bit sloppy though. I can imagine that Select was still worried about this really big army on the left side of the map. But if he would have microed this just a little bit, he would have been more than fine. A little bit of shift rally micro, and it would have been already a lot better for him.
Yeah, even if he just backed up into the minerals so that he wasn't able to get all those units hit at the same time. Select going to drop a 4th command center now. As he does continue to position himself around the map. He did spot this 4th Nexus going down for Alicia, and will be able to easily deny that.
Oh.
Or should be able to
Select
easily
is kind
deny
of playing
that.
with fire. I think he's still going to be fine. Yes, he's forcing a cancel right now. That was kind of close. He had more units. He could have just dropped 1 more unit. Select really dictating the pace of the game right now, but I'm still worried about this army. This is an incredibly scary army. If we take a look at Select's main base, the Viking count is up to 6 right now. That's not high enough though.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough Vikings for the Colossi,
Wow,
and he really doesn't have
5 Colossus, man.
I don't think he has enough EMP for everything else. The Archons, the Sentries, the High Templar, and
3-2 upgrades, and there are 5 Colossus.
I don't know, Kev. I don't really see Select holding here.
No, certainly not. With so many units still out of position, these ghosts are once more going to die straight away. This is always a nice position for Vikings to fight though, but not when they're just like that. So many zealots swarming in.
And the storm's going down all over the bio. Select tries to stream in with reinforcements. Supply-wise, that fight looking a little bit closer than maybe it actually was, as the Colossi, basically unchecked, do continue to do good work. More Marauders just melting away. GG comes out of Select, and Alicia takes the first game.
Such a strange game on Tal'Darim, which was a really back and forth game as well. Looked good for Alicia at first, looked then pretty damn good for Select after he picked off those the double forge and the Twilight Console as well. He did end up losing both medevacs, which was a bit unfortunate because one medevac actually got out of there, but that one was empty, and then he left 3 units on the ground, and the one with cargo actually did get picked off. But still, I still felt that was a decent trade because Alicia's tech was so far behind. But I guess Select just kind of missed his window while fighting with only Ghost and Bio units against Gateway Army, because 2 Colossus just make a world of difference.
Yeah, what could Select have done better? Like,
I think maybe attack a little bit quicker, or like just not attack at that 3rd base, because he was still doing fine. He didn't really need to attack around that moment. He had more supply, he had better upgrades, everything was going quite well for him. So I don't think he was forced to fight there. He wanted to fight because he felt everything was going pretty well for him, which I agree with. But yeah, fighting without Vikings against Colossus is so risky.
Yeah, but I mean, even before that, he kind of went into the mid game down 12, 14 workers. That alone is sort of tough, and that's kind of the advantage that Alicia rode.
True.
Into that better late game.
But I still felt economically Select was quite okay throughout the entire game.
Yeah, I thought so too. I really did think so as well. Either way, that game brought to you guys by Epson Projectors, epson.com/projectors for their full line of bright projectors with brilliant image quality. Go check them out right now. We're going to play a short commercial, then we'll be back with Game 2 of Alicia vs. Select.